Who has been the biggest Premier League transfer flop so far this season? Striker edition. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it, already? Just 2 months in, but we're going to play the game anyway, so here we go. So, this season is, 7 games old, and we're already looking at the strikers that have come in this transfer window for decent amounts of money. I seen this social media post and I thought, you know what? That is absolutely ridiculous. How can we be judging strikers already? But like I said, we're going to play this game anyway. So in this post, and I'm going to do it and copy it like for like, we have got 4 top strikers that were brought in this summer for all the big guns in the Premier League. Your 4 choices are, and if there's any honourable mentions that you want to bring in, please do drop them into the comment section below as well. Let's play this game along. I'm going to break it down. First of all, the 4 strikers that we're talking about here are Alexander Isak, Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko and João Pedro. Big money for all of these strikers. It was a hotbed of activity in the striker department this summer, wasn't it? It was mental, that transfer window. But which of these strikers has flopped the most so far? We're going to look at the price, we're going to look at the age, we're going to look at the appearances, the starts, and break it all down, because people who put this post out on social media just put 4 names out there because of their appearances and the amount of goals that they've scored. There's a lot more to break down in this, so we're going to go into a bit of detail on it. So, first of all, let's get into the actual appearances of these players and how often they've appeared on the pitch for their teams. So, first of all, Alexander Isak, the big one. Isak, 26-year-old striker, brought in for 125.6 million for Liverpool. The biggest transfer saga of the summer, and everybody's watching Isak. When's he going to hit it off? Well, 6 appearances so far for Isak, 1 goal and 1 assist. They are driving the Isak factor because he's a record transfer. This is what social media does. But let's have a look at the details of Isak so far. Only 4 of them appearances have been starts for Liverpool, and he is coming back off the turmoil which was the pre-season he never had. He's catching up with everybody. He hasn't been fit. He's only been able to appear in certain games, so you could argue this point, but still, when it comes to fans, when it comes to that rivalry and the banter and everything that's at stake with these fans and the different clubs, you look at Isak and you go, 125 million, and you've got 2 goal involvements, 1 assist and 1 goal. It doesn't look good, and Liverpool off the back of 3 defeats. I think there is an agenda against Isak here on this poll on social media, but they're the details, they're the stats, right there. And Isak has not featured for 90 minutes full game yet, by the looks of it. So you could say that you'll let him off a little bit, but still, you've got that big price tag of 125 million on him. Second on the list, here we go. Victor Gyökeres at Arsenal, 27-year-old, brought in for £57 million this summer from Sporting. Mikel Arteta finally got his striker. 10 appearances, 3 goals, no assist. 9 of them appearances has been from the start. So straight away you can see where we're going here. A little bit more detail. Yes, he's got 3 more goals than what Isak has. Well, he's got 3, he's got 1, so 2 more, in fact, than what Isak has got. 0 assists. So in goal involvements, straight away, Isak, in 4 starts, is 1 goal involvement behind Victor Gyökeres, who's played 9 of Arsenal's 10 games this season, started them. 57 million, you could argue the point, couldn't you? That yes, he's half the price, less than half the price of what Isak was, but goal output, you're arguing the point here as well. Plus, the age of these 2 strikers, 26, 27. These are accomplished, ready-made strikers. You'd expect a bit more. Third on the list is, of course, whenever Man United are in town, there is always people looking for United to waste money. That's the agenda that's driven. 22-year-old Benjamin Sesko bought in from RB Leipzig this summer for Manchester United for a whopping 66.2 million. 8 appearances for Benjamin Sesko, 2 goals, 0 assists. Doesn't look good. But when you break it down, Benjamin Sesko, 5 starts in them games, and has scored 2 goals in his 5 starts for Manchester United. They have come in the last 2 games, obviously. And the previous game, you could say he pretty much got an assist, which set up Manchester United to beat Chelsea with that flick on that got the red card. And United went on and ended up beating Chelsea at Old Trafford. So, yeah, Sanchez's red card I'm talking about there. And look, these things don't get brought into this. And again, this is all building up to the end of the video here, what I'm going to go into. So stay tuned for this. I'm going to explain why I think this is the most pointless stats and comparison chart that you could possibly do. But just for the crack of it, let's just continue and get into the next striker, who is João Pedro from Chelsea. 55.2 million for Chelsea. And so far this season, 9 appearances, 2 goals and 3 assists. 8 of them appearances have been from the start for Chelsea. So straight away, 5 goal involvements out of all of the strikers. João Pedro, in terms of the numbers, is the best striker right now out of all of these players. But obviously, you're looking at this and you're going, only 2 goals in 8 starts. He's only behind Victor Gyökeres in terms of starts when you look at João Pedro. So is he the right player? Is he the one that is right up there right now in terms of the best striker so far? Well, when you look at the stats, he's 24 as well, a younger striker, has got more longevity. So when we break it all down, let's have a look at these players now. From what we've just said stat-wise, when you look at it, let's have a look down the value for money side of things first of all. Value for money. João Pedro, it tops it. At 55.2 million, João Pedro with 2 goals and 3 assists in his 8 starts for Chelsea. At that price, you have to say, at 24, that is value for money in terms of these strikers on our list here today. At bottom of that list, at the moment, it could get better, of course, but we're using this social media poll again at this stage of the season. More on that in a minute. But according to this social media poll, Alexander Isak is the least value for money player right now out of these 4 players. In terms of expected goal involvement per appearance, so off the bench or from the start. Again, when you look at it, it is João Pedro. Again, he is the most valuable player out of these 4 so far. Bottom of the list, Victor Gyökeres with his 10 appearances and only 3 goals to that. 9 of them start. When you look at it, yes, he is bottom of that list. And then you move into goal involvement per start. If you wanted to go into more detail, that's Benjamin Sesko. All of a sudden, it changes. So in terms of starting games, Benjamin Sesko is the most valuable player. In terms of starting games, Victor Gyökeres, again, is bottom of the barrel when it comes to it. So realistically, and I'm using the goals as the most important part here, and with Pedro starting 8 games, Sesko starting 5, I've just tipped Sesko to take that one there. But again, just goes to show you, Victor Gyökeres, bottom of that pile also. And when you look at the age benefit, let's just call in longevity as well in all of these players. When you look at it, Benjamin Sesko again at age 22, when the way that he's performed so far, when you compare that to the worst player in terms of age, goals and price, Victor Gyökeres again on that one, only because he's a year older than what Alexander Isak is. It's close between them two. So there you go. On this list, it goes to show, really, that Benjamin Sesko and João Pedro are the most valuable strikers. When you put everything into the picture, they top 2 of the charts each. And it's the younger strikers that are taking it at the moment. But does it bleeding matter? No, it doesn't. And that's the point I'm trying to make. We can go into detail and we can make fun of this. We can wind opposition fans up all we want. But for someone to come out and make this chart, it's just bleeding stupid, is what it is. It's ridiculous. Like, these players are adapting to new teams, and what I think this proves is the need for instant impact and people expecting too much of every single player that comes into a new football club. They don't look at anything. They're looking straight away for the negative. And the headline of this wasn't who the best striker was. It was who's the biggest flop. So, flop or not, basically, I've broke it down there. Victor Gyökeres can go out next weekend, and score a hat-trick. And all of a sudden, he's top of that chart. They're not giving these players room to breathe right now. And social media is driving this negative agenda, and success needs to come instantly. And this is the pressure that these players are under right now. The price tags, how much you've spent on them, the age of the player, judging that off what they should be providing because they're more experienced. Or you're looking at the younger strikers and letting them off because he's not started as many games like Benjamin Sesko. And you can compare it however you want, but the debate will always go on and on and on. Give them a season, and then let's judge them, shall we? Stop putting stupid social media posts out trying to drive negativity into the Premier League and putting pressure on these players. Yes, they're earning a fortune. They've got a great life and we can do what we want on social media and everyone's got an opinion. But why is it always a negative one? My God, it is the world in what we live in right now. But just for fun, they're my numbers. Get your comments in and let me know who you think has been the biggest flop, or should we say the best performing player so far, just to make it look like we're actually looking for positives instead of digging out needless negatives. Honourable mentions in the chat as well, please, for anyone else that you feel should be on this list as well. But they're the ones that are going around social media right now. Get your comments in. Please give this video a like and make sure you smash that subscribe button on your screen as well for the next bit of content coming up. We will keep you updated here on Football Talk. Cheers for watching, everybody.